What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Crimson. So this video is from a couple of days ago, but it's top second place at locals. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Haven't had time to get the video out, so when you hear me talking about it, it's 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry I'm bad at doing deck profiles. I'm very trying to get used to the fact of doing deck profiles and everything. If I can live stream, why can't I just do deck profiles or play in IRL? I know. But just bear with me, please. I apologize. So if I sound skittish or sound like whatever, I just want to make sure I'm actually saying everything the correct way. So if you see me just taking the card, picking it up, and I'm like, and I'm reading it, I'm just making sure on my end, so I'm not just saying the wrong thing. You know, I know how to play with it, but it's another thing when I'm sitting here and I'm trying to so I'm gonna get better at the deck profiles. I will, but yeah, this is me topping second place at my locals with my Blue-Eyes deck featuring the new Kyberman card. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace. What's good, YouTube? This is your boy Crimson Shadows, back at it again with my second ever deck profile. Atop second place at my locals, with the Blue Eyes featuring the new Kyberman card. So we're gonna just jump right in and get right into it. The packs, my 17 packs I got wasn't the greatest, but it is what it is. I mean, I pulled one secret. So that's all I pulled from my packs before I started this video. Nothing crazy, but let's get right into it. So starting off, we got to play the 3 bricks, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. And now here's my thing. Running 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons now is actually not really a brick anymore, because how many times you're going to be sending it to the grave or summoning it with effects. So 3 Blue Eyes is not really too bricky in my opinion. So next is Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. So if this is in your hand or grave, I believe, hold on. Yeah, so if a card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from from the graveyard. And then at the start of the damage step, if this card battles, you can target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand, so it's a bouncer. It also protects you from other cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. The last duel I had with on my boy's video, which we misread it because we're Yu-Gi-Oh players, we're bad, is this don't protect you, it only protects your opponent from your opponent. So there's that. So learning it as we go, got better. 1 copy of Chaos Max Dragon. You're not really summoning this, it's literally used for Chaos Max, nothing else, or Chaos Max Magia, nothing else. And then we're running 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. When this card is normal summon, you can add a level 1 Light Tuner from your deck to your hand, and while it's also in your hand, you can target send this card to the grave, targeting one of your effect monsters on the field. Send it to the grave, and you can special summon a Blue Eyes monster from deck to field. Very good when you're hitting it off with Maiden, depending on if you have the right play. But talking about Maiden, 3 copies of Maiden of White. So you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard and place True Light face up on the field. And if a Blue Eyes White Dragon is summoned to your side of the field, you can special summon this from your grave. And then the new monsters, I see other people running it differently. Like everybody's saying you only need 1. I honestly just like it at 2. But we're running 2 copies of the new Kyberman the Legend, the retrain. It's a level 1 light warrior monster. So when this is no more special summon, you can reveal up to 3 Blue Eyes from your hand, deck, face up on the field, and or graveyard. And then you can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Second effect is when Blue Eyes is summoned. Well, this is in your grave, and Blue Eyes is summoned to the field. You can banish this card and add a Blue Eyes light or Blue Eyes monster from your deck, which that's where Chaos Max comes into play. So it's an easy search, so you don't have to do the ravine thing anymore. I'm still also running the 1 copy of Master with Eyes of Blue, only because when this card is normal summoned, you can add a level 1 light tuner in your graveyard, add it back to your hand, which you'll add back your Sage, and then that's how you'll follow up using Sage's effect on Maiden, so you get a 2-for-1 if it pops off. I cut this card down to 2, but I'm running 2 copies of Witches with Eyes of Blue. You discard 1, pay for cards by discarding 1 card from your hand and adding a level 1 light tuner monster from your deck and a spell or trap card that mentioned Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'm running a single copy of Mausoleum of White. You only need 1. You don't need anything more than that. Mausoleum, you can target 1 card on the field, send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to the graveyard, and increase that monster's attack by 800. And then second effect is you can additional normal summon. That's why Masters is in there. Running a single copy of Ward of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. I'm honestly debating on taking this card out. I really don't use it like that, nor do I see it, nor do I really add it to my hand. But you can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck, graveyard, or banishment in defense position. And but if you do have a Blue Eyes monster on your field, Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can summon like another version of Blue Eyes. So like I can go into Jet Dragon, for instance. And then you can banish this card, and then you can fusion summon, which we don't really use that like that, to be honest. It hasn't come up for me like that too much. In the beginning when this deck came out, the deck came out, yes, this came really good, but now it really don't. I might actually take it out. And then I run 1 single copy of Ultimate Fusion. Might honestly take Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons out and add a 2nd copy of Ultimate Fusion, because at the end of the day, like, yes, you don't need 2 copies of Ultimate Fusion, but I feel like for me, where I stand, my deck kind of rolls with it more. And then 1 copy of True Light, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone with card effects. And then obviously if this card leaves the field, it just wipes your whole board. Regex is your own field. You can activate 1 or 2 effects. You can either special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand to graveyard, or you can set a spell trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon. And speaking about traps, Majesty of the White Dragons, very powerful card. It doesn't target, but you can reveal any number of Blue Eyes White Dragons from your hand, field, and graveyard, and then the number that you show, you can destroy up to 2 cards, non-targeting. So, and then also you can banish it and you can ritual summon, which that doesn't even come up for me. And now for the Primite line, running 3 copies of Primite Dragon Ether Barrel. When this card is normal summon, you can set 1 Primite spell trap from your deck, and then once per turn, you contribute this card, send 1 normal monster from your deck to the graveyard during your standby phase. If you have a normal monster in your field or graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. So pretty much nothing special. I know people are running this at 3. I'm not. I'm rocking 2 copies of Primite Loady Load. When this is activated, you can add a Primite card from your deck to your hand, which usually you're gonna do out your copy of Primite Drill Beam. But second effect, you can declare 1 normal type monster name, which obviously Blue Eyes, and then you can special summon Blue Eyes in defense mode. But then after that, the turn that you use that effect, all effect monsters on your field are negated for that turn, are turned off. And then talking about searching, we got Drill Beam. As long as you have, as long as you reveal one Primite card or one normal monster in your hand, except for Drill Beam, or if you control a normal monster or a level 5 or higher Primite monster, except for a token, you can activate this effect without revealing it. Then target one face-up card on the field, negate its effects, and if you do, banish it. And then during your main phase, if you control a Primite monster, you can set this card from your grave. So I mean, that's pretty honestly good. Like I understand people are running 3 of these. I just felt like 2 will be better. I mean, if you are running 3, you can use it for a discard. Honestly, I don't really need to be running these next 2 cards, but I am running a single copy of Bistro Magia and Bistro Druisworm. So, depending on what I have in my graveyard, if I don't really care for it anymore, I can banish it to summon either one destroy, one is sent to the grave. You can send a special summon monster to the grave, and then Magimon, when it's special summoned, at the end of this turn, you can add a dragon monster right from deck to hand. Again, Chaos Max, so it kind of helps out. And then all the requirements is by banishing a light or dark monster from either player's graveyard, and if your opponent controls a monster, quick effect, I can do it. So that's pretty cool. Next up is Synchro Rumble. Yes, I am playing Crimson Dragon. I know a lot of people are. So pretty much a monster reborn for your target 1 tuner or a level 7 or higher dragon synchro monster. Special summon in defense position. Also for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from your extra deck except for synchro monsters. And then I don't care about the second effect, but level 8 or level 7 or 8 dragon synchro monsters or Crimson Dragon you control will be destroyed by battle or card effects. You can banish this card instead. So, but I don't really use that second effect, really, to be honest. And so next up on the list, because hand traps are very heavy and they cut one of the best cards, well, multiple cards. So we're running a single copy in the main deck is Call by the Grave. Obviously, when you activate it, select one of those monsters in the graveyard, banish it, negate its effect. And then second one will be Crossout Designator. I'm running this in the main because, again, they cut this all the way down to 1. You see too many hand traps. Like, even if you shuffle the deck, you can either open up with full hand traps or you're opening up with a setup board. So, and I face a lot of people that's always ending up with a bunch of hand traps, so this will be able to stop Imperm, Ash, Ghost Ogre, you name it. And then same thing for Call By. Now, talking about hand traps, running 3 copies of Ash Blossom. So, Ash Blossom, when a card is added from deck to hand, special summon from the deck, or send a card from deck to grave, I can discard this and negate that effect. Nothing special. Running 2 copies of Effect Veiler. During your opponent's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the grave and negate the monster effect on the field during only your opponent's turn. And also, it's a level 1 light tuner, so you can add it off of wishes if need be. So yes, I would run 3, but I feel like I just don't need it. There are people that is playing it, but I'm running 1 single copy of Droll and Lockbird. So yes, like, you can run this at 3, but at the end of the day, if I can set up my perfect board, if possible, if I don't get stopped, Droll is not really going to be too useful, really. So, and honestly, it's only there to hit cross out, or to use for cross out. So, and then if I open it in my opening hand, then hopefully my opponent won't be playing Yu-Gi-Oh, depending on what deck they're playing. Next up, I'm running 2 copies. I was running 3, but I took 1 out. I'm running 2 copies of Fuelos. as long as I control nothing on the field, I can send this card from my hand to the grave, and every time my opponent special summons from the deck or extra deck, I draw a single card, and then at the end of the turn, your hand will be +6 plus how many cards your opponent controls. So I will have to send back from my hand to the deck. So say my opponent had 5 cards in the back on their field in total, say 3 traps, 2 monsters. So right now, and say I drew a bunch of cards, my end result of my hand will have to be 11 +6 plus how many he controls, or she. Next up, 3 copies of Imperm. We all know what this does. It's a hand trap right from the hand. Nothing special there. Just I can negate monster effect, and if this was set, it will block off this column for the spell and trap. And I'm running 2 copies of Dragon's Mind. If you control original monsters, control a monster with original attack of 2500 attack or defense, it can straight up negate and then pay 2500 life points to set it right back to the field, but banish it as soon as it leaves the field. And finally, you're gonna laugh for it being a Kaiba deck or a Blue Eyes deck. I'm running a single copy of Attack Guidance Armor. It's a Sakurutu armor. If y'all seen OG Yu-Gi-Oh, y'all should know exactly what this does, like you've seen in the show. One, it's a Sakurutu, so I can just destroy that monster, or I can select one of your other monsters instead and have that be attacked instead. So that's it for the main deck. I'm gonna hit you over to the extra deck. Alright, so next up is the extra deck. So I'm running 2 copies of Spirit with Eyes of Blue. When this card is special summoned, you can when this card is special summoned, you can take 1 Mausoleum from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Odds are you send it to the graveyard if you're using the Burst Stream of Destruction for Blue Eyes, which a lot of us aren't. So, and then you can tribute this card to special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your grave. I think hand as well, hold on. Yeah, it's hand or grave, but mainly a lot of us is doing it from the grave. And then for the other link, I'm running only a single copy of Heretic Seals. Once per opponent's turn, if this card is in the extra deck zone, quick effect, I can tribute it and then bounce 1 card back, and then as soon as this hits grave, if it still goes off, I can start summon any monster, any dragon monster from my deck into defense position, having a 0 attack, 0 defense, which that's also good because y'all can go right into Magma, get its end effect as long as it doesn't get ashed. So that's it for the links. Next up for the fusions is a copy of Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. It's unaffected by trap cards. Once per battle, I can swing multiple times depending on how many monsters you have on the field. So obviously, if you have 5, I'm swinging at all 5 if possible. And then at the end, or at the at the end of the damage step, if I have a trap in the grave, I can set it right back. So Imperm, setting it back. True Light, setting it back. You know, if anything too, Dragon's Mind. So it's a nice recovery card. Next up, I'm running a single copy of Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You're never going into this. You're only using for the effect of during either player's turn. When a card is activated that targets a Blue Eyes monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the activation if you do destroy it. So you're not doing it for its other effect, you're just doing it for the banished effect. Next up, I'm running a single copy of the OG Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, obviously for Magia again. That's the only reason why we're running one. And then speaking about Magia, the bad boy's right there. So yes, this card is not, I mean, it's really good. It's not like crazy, it's not broken. It is really good. So I can negate up to 3 times. I can negate 1 spell, 1 trap, 1 monster effect.
all in the same turn. And then if this card in its owner's possession leaves the field because of the opponent's card, you can special summon one Blue Eyes monster or one Chaos or Blackluster Soldier ritual monster from your extra deck or graveyard. I mean extra deck or graveyard. So obviously if you do that, I can go right into a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon just for fun. Next up for the Synchro monsters, 3 copies of Blue Eyes, Spirit, Dragon. The third one is in my hand. Neither player can special summon 2 or more times at the same time. Once per turn, when an effect of a card in the graveyard is activated, quick effect, I can negate that effect. And then quick effect, you contribute the Synchro monster, special summon 1 Light Dragon Synchro monster from your extra deck in defense position, except for Spirit itself, but straight at the end of the turn. So you're pretty much just setting up and keep on sending just to get its effect off. Especially if you're going to go into the newly Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, which this is your negate. It's a on-field Omni negate. So, and then when it leaves the field, I can start summoning a Blue Eyes monster from the graveyard, which obviously you'll probably go back into this or something else. But you have cards that will help you protect them from letting this get destroyed. And speaking of protecting them, Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon. This is the card that will protect it from getting blown up from Spirit. The first time each card you control will be destroyed each turn by battle or card effect. It is not destroyed once per turn during a player's turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can negate the effect, and if you do, destroy 1 card on the field. So, and then we're not using the second effect because that's for Stardust itself, but we're only using it for those effects. Next up, I'm running a single copy of Ancient Fairy Dragon. So I don't technically need Ancient Fairy Dragon anymore. You really don't. I'm not running Ravine. I mean, I could use it just to pop my field spell and gain 1,000 for have more life points for time. But yeah, I'm using it for the fact of I can use this. Say if I have Masters in my hand as well as Kyberman, I can go normal summon Masters with Mausoleum, get its effect, and then use Spirit to go tag its send itself out to Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon's effect will let me special summon from my hand, which I'll summon Kyberman. Kyberman's effect, when it is no more special, I can reveal up to 3 Blue Eyes from hand, field, or deck, and then special summon 1 of those Blue Eyes, bam, and then continue on. And then next up, I'm running a single copy of, like I said, Crimson Dragon. Quick effect for both. Our first effect is to search out Synchro Rumble. Second effect, quick effect, I can target a Synchro monster. So say, for instance, I have this on the field and I get out Crimson Dragon, targeting Ultimate, shuffle this back into the extra, or send it back to the extra deck, and I can summon out Cypher Dragon instantly. So, pretty rad, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. And then last up, funny enough, it does work, and I don't always go into it. I just think of this card as a troll, but it does came up a few times for me, and I love it. It's Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. So during the main phase, quick effect, you target 1 face-up monster on the field or in either graveyard and place it face up in the owner's spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell. Also, this turn cannot use this effect next turn. During the battle phase, quick effect, you can target 1 monster and 1 continuous spell on the field, destroy them. So I'm doing it for more of the trolls more than anything else. But so that is it for the extra deck, and obviously 3 tokens, nothing special. Now for the next part is the side deck. No, Petite Moth is not in my side deck. It is my GOAT. Shout out to Ruxin34, honestly, but Petite Moth is the GOAT. So to put it this way, side deck doesn't actually matter for your guys, for how I'm running mine, because at the end of the day, run your side deck to what you know at your locals. Like if you know exactly what your friends or the people there are playing, make your side deck to them. This is my side deck for my locals. It's not the greatest, but for me, it works for me. So I'm running a single copy of Dimensional Barrier. So obviously I can call Fusion, Synchros, Xyz, and Rituals. And then neither player can summon those, and if there are any on field of the one that you have called out, its effects are negated for that turn. Next up, I'm running 2 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. When a monster on the field activates its effect, or a spell trap that is already face up on the field activate its effect, quick effect, you send this card to the graveyard and destroy it. So this would be good because I do have a few people I play that are playing Blue Eyes. This would just destroy True Light. So nothing too crazy, or depending on what they're playing. Side decking 2 copies of Nibiru. If your opponent summons 5 or more times, tribute everything on field, including your own. You summon Nibiru, they get the token, combine the attack and defense of all monsters that were sent tributed from or sent from the field to the grave. So it's going to be a big beefy monster, but it's just nice to have. And then if I also get this on my field, or I get the token on me and I can still continue, this will be a hug for my opponent because I can go right into Crimson Dragon instantly if I got the level 1 Light Tuner. Next up, I'm running 3 copies of Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. When a card or effect is activated, including any of these, quick effect, discard this card. Add a card from grave to hand, deck, or extra decks, or summon a monster from the graveyard, and banish a card from the graveyard. So this is just a nice card to stop. Shout out to Cthulhu, because he hit me with this, and I'm just like, okay, this is interesting. So this is actually a nice card to hit somebody else back like him. He's also playing Blue Eyes with his Blue Eyes series, so this would be something to hit or add on, in my opinion, depending if your people are playing Blue Eyes as well. Up next is 2 copies of Artifact Lancia. Honestly, it's just there for the Malice players because if you can tribute this card from your hand or face up on the field. Apologize for the coughing. Neither player can banish card from their card for the rest of the turn, which I would completely stop Malice players because they want their cards hit. They need the banishment. If they don't have the banishment, then I mean they can do something else, but this will just shut them down. So funny enough, next up is more synchros. This is just my opinion, my thoughts. Like I said, however you run your deck is on you guys for your side deck. So running a single copy of Lightstorm Dragon. So if this card starts summoning, you can target up spells, traps on the field up to the number of normal monsters in your graveyard plus 1. So I already have 1. So say if I ended up having 3 Blue Eyes, I can target 4 spells and traps on your back row and clear it. So it's a semi-Regeki or Harvey's Feather Duster somewhat, just not a board wipe of it. Next up is Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. I might actually take this out for something else. I did see people running this. When this card is special summoned or level 5 or higher monster is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field, target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. Or obviously return it back to the extra deck. Next up will be Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. I'm only running this card for honestly time and burn damage. So if I need it, I can just go right into it and just hit them, summon it, destroy all special summon monsters, burn them for 500 apiece. So just a burn card. Next Red Dragon Archfiend card is the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Quick effect. I can target your spell, trap, or monster on the field, and I can just straight up just negate it for that turn. And it's a quick effect every turn, so I can do it on my turn and your turn. So it's just another shut off switch card, honestly, and that you can actually use with with Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon targeting your level 9 spirit goes right into this, and then you continue your play. And then the final card I'm running is the Ancient Fairy Life Dragon. Any monsters that mention Ancient Fairy Dragon, or Ancient Fairy Dragon, and anything that mentions it, Ancient Fairy Dragon can swing in defense position, and then it can attack while in phase of defense position. Apply their defense for damage calculation. So what I heard was, the attack, it goes with the defense. So this will be a 58 beater when you're swinging. So, but honestly, that is it for my Blue Eyes deck profile. Like I said, your side deck is all up to you. It's your call on what you want to run at the end of the day, because your locals can be 10 times different than mine. Like I said, I do got my Malice players. This is good for, say, Blue Eyes. Nib is just good in general if you know your opponent's summoning 5 or more times. D-Barrier at 1, since it's at 1, but this is actually a decent card. Also nice to have in there if your opponent tries to hit you with D-Barrier, if they know what you're playing. Like I said, Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend is just a really good card to have if you're playing Blue Eyes, if you need it for burn. I was running my Red Eyes Full Metal Dragon for also to burn, because then I can go target your monster, negate, and then if you have a monster on the field, I can target that one and you take damage equal to the original attack of that monster. So magically, say if you had whatever, you had Nib on the field and you're using this effect, I can just go negate, target Nib, you lose 3,000. So, but ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my second place Blue Eyes deck profile. I hope you enjoyed. I'm not the greatest at doing deck profiles, I apologize in advance. But with that being said, guys, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.